Hello, I'm Adam Grimes. Welcome to MarketLifeTrading.com Chart School. So I want to talk about a specific trending pattern today. This is an important pattern to recognize, but it's a difficult pattern to trade. In fact, I might argue that it's almost an impossible pattern to trade. Part of the value of seeing this is that it warns us to back away from the market and wait. The pattern is what I've called a slide along the bands trend, and you can see it here. I paged this chart is a few days old. There's some, I'll page forward in a moment, but look at the upper Keltner channel here, and you will see that what's happened is the market has gone to the channel, pressed against it, and continued to trend. This is not normal. In fact, this is pretty abnormal. This is normal trending action where we have this type of move, where we have these waves up and here, in this case, down. This is what markets normally do when they trend. And of course, this is why people think they see Elliott waves and things like that. It's just acknowledging that this is the normal trending pattern of markets. Every now and then, this pattern gets short-circuited. And these trends tend to be low volatility trends, meaning the range of the bar will tend to be small. There's two characteristics you need to know about this trend, this type of trend. One is that it can go a lot further than anybody thinks. So if you want to get killed in the market and blow all of your money, fade a trend like this. That's the way to do it. And keep scaling it as it moves against you. This particular kind of trending activity can just go and go and go. If you're on the wrong side of it, it's very painful. If you're on the right side of it, it's glorious. So of course, what we want to do is get on the right side of it. The second thing you need to know about this kind of trend is that it's very difficult to position. I think the reason is, and here I'm speculating, I think I'll page forward as I speak. The reason I think is that this kind of trend indicates consensus. Everybody in the market is on the right side of the trade. And when everybody's on the right side of the trade, when people are surprised, when you get a normal pullback, and if you look at the screen, this appears to be a normal pullback. This is what happens so often. We see this normal pullback develops into a collapse and into even more of a collapse. So I was talking about actually this particular trade several weeks ago in my client material. We were looking at this trend. I said, you can't really trade the Aussie dollar right now. You can't buy it. And I got several people who said, well, it's such a strong trend. Maybe we should find some way to try to position with this. And I said, I played that game a long time ago in my career, and I learned. And what I've learned is that you can't really position in trends like that because of these types of collapses. So that's what you need to be aware of, that they're great patterns. If you're ever long in a trend like this, just trail a stop under the low of a few bars ago. And I can remember several times being in the almost absurd position of wanting the market to come and get my stop. But it would just keep going in favor of the trade, and I would have to tighten the stop. And you come in and say, oh gosh, I have to make money on this trade again. It's a little funny, but really it's just the power of this type of trend to grind and grind and grind, but also when it ends, extremely painful. So here is an example on the daily Aussie dollar. Let me show you something else. What about that? So it's a little bit different here, but it's the same concept. Here in the Dow Jones Industrial Average, for many months, we had this type of consensus trend. Not quite as clean and pressing against the bands. You'll find many examples where it just goes to the Keltner channel and sits there. But I would argue, and many people have called me an idiot over the past few weeks when I say that this activity, did I predict this collapse? No. Nobody can predict that. Was I certainly aware of the possibility? Absolutely. Given the overboughtness of this trend, is that even a word? But given the overbought condition, given the slide along the bands nature of the trend, you don't even consider buying something like that. You don't know that you're going to get this kind of large-scale collapse that lasts for days and days and days, but you are aware that it's a possibility. And even though we can go back and we can find some little pullbacks that worked out, I would suggest that trying to trade this kind of trend in any kind of normal way is very painful and very difficult. So if this is a pattern you've not seen before, slide along the bands trend, add it to your tool set, add it to your universe. You can also probably Google Adam Grimes and slide along the bands trend. I've written about it in some places. You'll probably pull up those articles. And I think this can be a useful pattern to know, a very useful pattern to know. Thank you very much. MarketLifeTrading.com.